Good morning. Good morning, morning stream. Welcome. I hope you're all doing fantastic. How is everybody this morning? We are here for our morning stream with a very interesting topic. A topic that a lot of people spend a lot of time contemplating, and that is the topic of course, recovery. Right? Recovery. So that is what we're going to be talking about this morning. I hope you're all doing fantastic. Feels like I got a yawn. Maybe not. Okay, I think we're okay. But welcome, guys. Welcome to the morning stream. As you can see, things look different around here. Things look a bit different. I took quite a bit of time rearranging and moving my setup around and getting my lighting set up so that we could do the streams the right way, right? The right way. So things are different around here. Things are changing for the better. For the better. Okay, so let's see who we've got in chat. We've got Ivan coming in, number one. What's up, Ivan? We've got Jennifer. We've got Mint. Welcome, guys. We're going to give it a few more minutes, and then we'll get started on today's morning stream. We are going to be talking about recovery. Like I said, it's a topic that people just can't stop thinking about. Right? Just can't stop thinking about. What does being recovered from anxiety mean? Several points we're going to talk about today. A few side points we're going to tackle as well. So come on in, man. Relax, chill a little bit. We're going to talk about it. Love the vacate fear gift. Thank you, Mint. I actually had it was someone in the community. I wish I could remember their name. It's been so many years ago. Someone in the community made that little vacate fear gift. They also made the Nova gift for me, and I wanted a place to put it, you know? I wanted a place to put it. I wanted a reason to use it. Why is my... There we go. Okay. Okay. We're good. We're good. We're good. Morning Wonder Bro, just gone midday in UK. What is up, M? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing fantastic. Welcome, welcome. We'll get started in just a minute, guys. Let me send out another notification real quick. And I'm also going to drop that Discord link for anybody who wants it. Come join us on the Discord, man. It's an awesome community full of awesome people. It's a great place to be. Great place to be. All right, there's that Discord link. There's that Discord link. Join up, join up. All right. I'm considering going to my farm group. I'm feeling all sorts of symptoms, though, but might just be me hyper-focusing because I'm tired. Might be even stronger than might be. Might be a stronger possibility than might be meant. I don't know. I'll let you make that decision, but we're going to get started here, guys. Give me just a second. All right, let's get that music out of there so we're not fighting with it the entire time. So this morning, guys, we're going to be talking about what does it mean to be recovered? What does it mean to be recovered from anxiety? Everybody wants to talk about recovery. Everybody's goal is to reach this state of recovery, right? So let's talk about it. Now, I decided that with this stream in particular, I needed to make notes because there is a lot of things I want to cover about this particular topic. So I have made some notes here that we are going to go over just so I don't forget anything. And let's see. Go ahead and pull that up. We're going to start from number one, right? So we are on the topic of recovery. What does it mean to be recovered from anxiety? What does it mean to be recovered? Number one, the first thing that I want to talk to you guys about today is you go back to no longer having excess amounts of anxiety. Now, that's just the first run-of-the-mill, right? That's just the first run-of-the-mill point that we're making here. You go back to no longer having excessive amounts of anxiety. Now, of course, that's what everyone wants, right? That's what everyone is going for. We no longer want to have to deal with excessive amounts of anxiety. So number one, just right off the bat, you go back to no longer having excessive amounts of anxiety. So number two, let's move on. Number two, and some of these points I'm going to spend a little bit longer on than other points, but number two, things start to scare you less, including thoughts. Things start to scare you less, including your own thoughts. Now, when you are highly sensitized and you've got a tired nervous system, thoughts that used to not scare you, thoughts that you could probably brush off in the past, or thoughts that were really no big deal to you at some point, they start to scare you less, and eventually they start to fade. So normally what happens is the thoughts will tend to stick around even after the physical anxiety has started to fade a bit. So the physical anxiety will start to fade a bit, just like in our first point there. You go back to no longer having excessive amounts of anxiety. The physical anxiety will start to fade a bit, and then you'll get to a point where the thoughts themselves even start to fade. It tends to go that way. The physical stuff takes care of itself first, and then the thoughts usually tend to follow after that, right? So that's nothing to be alarmed about. That's quite normal. So number two, things start to scare you less, including thoughts, right? Things start to scare you less, including thoughts. The third thing that I have written down here is you don't think much about anxiety. Your focus becomes life, right? You don't think much about anxiety. Your focus becomes life. And I know some people are saying maybe the stream dropped. Are we good? I just want to make sure we're good before I continue to ramble here. Are we good? Are we solid? Can anybody see me, hear me? Am I talking to myself? I don't know. Let me know in the chat, all right? You don't think much about anxiety, your focus becomes life. So when you're going through recovery, you are totally obsessed, right, about the way that you feel. You are totally obsessed about the symptoms, whether they be mental or physical. You are just obsessed in general about every little thing that involves you and your body and your mind. Now, a good sign, right, a good sign of recovery is that you start to become more focused on life, right? More focused on life. So as it stands right now, you wake up every single day, and the first thing that comes to your mind is anxiety. The first thing that comes to your mind is my recovery. The first thing that comes to your mind is, symptoms and thoughts and feelings. If you are truly practicing those two keys, which is you are living life as if you're already healed. So you're doing things, you're living, you're behaving with your behaviors as if you're already healed. If you're doing that and you're also really practicing not fighting or arguing with intrusive thoughts, but rather just agreeing with them. To agree with them means not to engage with them and try to problem solve them. If you're really doing those two keys, what'll happen is as the excessive amounts of anxiety that you feel start to fade away, right? It's a sign of recovery. And as things start to scare you a little bit less, okay, that's a sign of nerves becoming more solid and desensitized, right? So as thoughts and situations start to scare you a little bit less, this will slowly trickle over into your focus becomes life more than it does anxiety. Your main focus becomes life more than it becomes your symptoms, more than it becomes your feelings and your thoughts. And your main focus starts to gently and gradually, right? This usually happens gradually, starts to gently and gradually become life, right? That's what your main focus becomes, life. So just to go over those three things really quickly, you go back to no longer having excessive amounts of anxiety. Things start to scare you less, including your own thoughts, right? And you don't think much about anxiety. Your life becomes, your main focus becomes life, right? You're more interested in life. So at first this feels kind of forced when you're using the two keys, but as you start to make progress and as you start to heal, you will start to see that your main focus, even though it can be on anxiety still from time to time, or a lot of the time, you'll start to see as you begin to heal that your main focus slowly begins to shift from recovery and talking about anxiety and symptoms and talking about, healing. It slowly starts to go from that more to life. You start to get more invested in life. You start to become more interested in life. You start to become more interested in the world around you rather than yourself, right? So that is a big sign of recovery. This is kind of sounding like a list of what to look for as you're recovering, but what does it mean to be recovered? We're getting to that. Okay, so things to consider. So you enter into recovery, which means you start to feel less excessive amounts of anxiety. You start to feel like yourself again. You're not so consumed by anxiety. You're not thinking about anxiety as much. Life starts to become quote unquote normal, and this all happens very gradually. Let's say that you continue to go down that path of healing and recovery, and it gets to the point that you don't have excessive amount of anxiety, period, at all anymore, right? Let's say it gets to the point that you don't even think about anxiety and recovery anymore. You're just totally retransitioned into a normal life where excessive amounts of anxiety doesn't exist. You don't even really think about anxiety or recovery anymore. You just feel quote unquote normal. You are back to yourself, right? Let's say you hit that point. We call that recovery. There's some things I want you to consider, and these are those side notes that I was talking about earlier in the stream that I wanted to cover. There's some things you definitely need to consider. And here's what I've got written down there. You will still be a human. This is what people don't want to hear. You will still be a human who experiences, right? A human being who experiences emotions from time to time, such as fear, nervousness, stress, sadness, anger, so forth and so on. So a big thing people don't want to hear for some reason, right? And I guess that reason is they've spent so long in the anxiety cycle, that when they make it out of it, they want to believe that they're never going to experience natural, normal human emotions again, and that's just not true. So if you have that expectation, you might as well drop that expectation now. Do yourself a favor. You will still experience fear from time to time when the situation calls for it. You will still experience nervousness and stress when the situation calls for it. Notice I'm saying when the situation calls for it, not just out of the blue, not just randomly, not just for no reason because your nerves are tired. You will still experience fear, nervousness, stress, sadness, anger. You will still be a human being who experiences emotions. Now, this next point, this next point is another one people don't really like to hear, but it's the truth, and you might as well accept the truth, right? You will not be happy 24/7. Right? So some people have this idea of what recovery is, right? And what is recovery? Again, we went over that. No longer experiencing unnecessary anxiety, just feeling normal. People have this false belief that they've not reached recovery until they are happy 24/7. Right? And that's just not going to happen. That's just never going to happen. You will never get to a point on your journey as a human being where you experience happiness 24/7. Right? So I have met some people, and even at one point during my recovery, I thought, you know what? I haven't reached true recovery until I'm just jumping for joy and just over the rainbow throughout my days, right? I once believed that was the goal. Understand that a human being is still going to experience emotions, guys. A human being is still going to experience feelings, fear, nervousness, stress, sadness, anger, so forth and so on. A human being is still... they're going to be human, and they're still not going to experience 24/7 happiness, whether they have a desensitized nervous system or not, right? 24/7 happiness is a pipe dream. It doesn't exist. In fact, the more you chase happiness, which we could probably save this topic for another stream, but the more you chase happiness, the further it seems to run away from you, the quicker it seems to run away from you, right? Because if you're waking up each day saying, man, how can I chase happiness today? Or how can I be completely happy? Don't get me wrong. It's good to look for things that are going to boost your mood. It's good to look for things that are going to improve your life, your quality of life. It's good to do things that bring you joy and happiness. That's all great, and you should be doing those things. You absolutely should. But if you have this unrealistic expectation that you're going to be happy 24/7, well, then you're automatically going to be in this state of resistance. So anytime something comes along or comes through the door that is not happiness, right, you're going to start fighting. Why am I not experiencing happiness? Why am I not over the moon? You know, I've recovered. Why am I not experiencing 24/7 happiness? So if you have that unrealistic belief that somehow when you recover from anxiety and tired nerves and you heal your nervous system, that you are just going to be this superhuman that is happy 24/7 and you never experience things like anger or sadness or stress, you need to drop that, because what you're doing is you're self-sabotaging. You're going to be chasing. If that is how you view recovery, you are going to, hello Crystal, welcome to the stream. If that is how you are viewing recovery, that you're going to become superhuman, and a superhuman who no longer experiences emotions and is just happy 24/7. If that's how you view recovery, you're never going to reach recovery, because that's just not realistic, and that's just not a state that any human being finds themselves in. So if that is your view of recovery, you may have flawed views about what recovery is. And if you have false belief and flawed views about what recovery is, there's a good chance you're never going to reach it, because your idea of recovery is not realistic. Ooh, that was a good one. That was a good point. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Can everybody in chat give me a quick roll call? Show me an emoji. Let me know that you are listening. Does everybody get what I'm getting at here? That is an important point. If you have false beliefs about what recovery is, this big word recovery that everybody seems to be chasing, if you have false beliefs about what it means to be recovered, then you're probably never going to reach it, because it's impossible. You've set impossible standards. You have impossible beliefs about recovery, and therefore you're going to spend a very long time, the rest of your life, trying to reach this grand old thing called recovery that you've just made up in your head. Like, I'm going to be happy 24/7. I'm never going to experience emotions again. I'm never going to experience stress again. I'm never going to experience fear or nervousness or, So maybe, right, and this is just me throwing this out there. If it applies to you, if it applies to you, if it don't, it don't. Maybe you need to reevaluate what recovery is. You need to reevaluate what you think recovery is. I'm here to give you the simple truths about recovery. The simple truths about recovery are the things we talked about earlier, which is you go back to no longer having excessive amounts of anxiety. Things start to scare you less, including your thoughts. You don't think much about recovery or anxiety. Your focus becomes life. So you're not really experiencing excessive amounts of anxiety. Things start to scare you less, including your own thoughts. You just feel normal. You feel like a normal person who's not so concerned about anxiety, and you're not really triggered over a whole lot of things, and you just feel quote unquote normal, right? Now that's the realistic recovery. That's realistic recovery. Your life is no longer dominated by this thing called anxiety. That is realistic recovery. But if you're sitting around with these expectations that you need to become superhuman and just cut out all emotions and never feel again and be happy 24/7, maybe you are chasing recovery, and the reason that recovery isn't coming to you is because you're chasing something that is unobtainable. Have you ever stopped to, you might not think this applies to you, right? There's probably a lot of things you think on my channel that doesn't apply to you, but if you sit down for just a second and really put some thought into it, maybe it does apply to you, right? How many people are experiencing maybe a slight realization here? Maybe not as dramatically as I'm wording it, but maybe there are little things that you expect to gain out of recovery that are just unrealistic, right? If you have expectations that are outside of just no longer feeling excessive amounts of anxiety, just feeling normal, just, no longer being so scared by things and no longer having so many intrusive thoughts, just normal. If you are chasing some sort of recovery outside of that, where you're just superhuman and you're happy 24/7, maybe that's the reason you're not reaching recovery, because you have unrealistic expectations of what recovery is, and your expectations of recovery are just not obtainable by any human being that walks the face of the earth, right? So, like I said, maybe it's not as drastic. Maybe there's certain things you expect out of recovery that's not 24/7 happiness. Maybe you think that, if I'm truly recovered, that means every day I wake up with a ton of confidence and I just feel really good. And maybe that's unrealistic. You're a human being. You're going to wake up on Monday and probably feel a bit shitty and just not full of confidence. And it's just kind of a depressing day, right? And it's just being human. Maybe you're going to wake up on Tuesday and you just don't feel motivated, right? That's just being a human being. Yes, you can obtain happiness. And yes, you guys, once you start to heal those nerves, you will experience more happiness than you're experiencing right now. I can promise you that. I'm not denying any of that. I'm just saying that maybe if you have unrealistic expectations, you need to address those unrealistic expectations. You are still going to be a human being after you desensitize that sense, after you do what we call desensitizing. After you heal those tired nerves, you are still going to be a human being. So it's just something to consider, guys. if you wake up every day thinking that you should feel happy 24/7, or if you wake up every single day thinking that unless you feel totally just awesome every single day, that's something you need to get rid of. You need to drop those unrealistic expectations. Understand that you're still going to be a human being. And that's really my main point of this stream. So many people probably have unrealistic expectations of recovery, and they're not helping you. In fact, you're just chasing a pipe dream, right? You're just chasing a pipe dream. If you're truly using acceptance, that means that you understand that the anxiety that you currently feel to an excessive degree is unnecessary, and you're just going to accept it, live your life, and not fight with any of those intrusive thoughts so that you can show your brain that tiger doesn't exist. As a result of that, you will start to get a brain that is wired to be calmer, that is wired to be, yes, happier. But if you think that you're going to become a superhuman with no fears, no feelings, none of that, you're trying to sell yourself something that doesn't exist. You're trying to sell yourself something that doesn't exist. And the irony is you are chasing something you could never obtain. And it's kind of, like I said, it's ironic in that way, because here you are chasing this 24/7 happiness and this just awesome new life. I'm not saying you can't live an awesome new life, but you get my point, this perfect life. Maybe that's the reason you're not obtaining recovery, is because every day you put unrealistic expectations on yourself. You need to just get into a mindset of, okay, I'm experiencing unnecessary anxiety. As I recover, I'll experience less unnecessary anxiety, and I'll start to feel normal. Don't tack anything more onto it. Don't say, okay, I'm healing, and I know one day I'll start to feel a bit more normal, right? Don't go and tack, and then I'll also experience 24/7 happiness. Don't tack that on there. You can't obtain that. Don't say, okay, I'm in recovery and one day I will feel better, I'll feel normal. But don't tack on, I'll feel perfect. That's unobtainable, right? Don't say, okay, well, I know I'm in recovery and one day I'll feel better and I'll feel normal, but don't tack on, and I'll never get mad again, I'll never experience stress again, I'll never experience triggers again. That's unobtainable. Guys, I'm telling you, right now, I wake up every single day and I feel quote unquote normal, right? What's the day got in store for me? I go through my routine. Sometimes I get really happy over things. Yeah, that's awesome. Sometimes I get really sad over things. Man, that's kind of depressing. Like, I wish that wouldn't have happened. Sometimes I get really angry over things. What did that asshole say? And then sometimes I just feel pretty good. Sometimes I'm just neutral, right? I'm just going through life. I just feel pretty neutral, right? I'm not dealing with excessive amounts of anxiety. You can get there too. But if you think every day you're going to pop out of the bed like Mary Poppins and start doing a skip through the town, and I just feel happy 24/7, life is so great and I never experience emotions, you will die trying to obtain that. You will die trying to obtain that, because that's not realistic. That's not realistic. I think you have, and whoever this applies to, I'm just trying to help, right? I think you have forgotten what it feels like to just be a normal human being. I think you've got this idea, because you've dealt with anxiety for so long, I think you've got this idea, this unrealistic idea, that you are only recovered unless you skip out of that bed every morning and do a little jig down the street because you feel so good, right? I think you've forgotten what it feels like to just be a normal human being. And I'm here to remind you of that, not to depress you, but to let you know that if you're chasing some sort of unobtainable idea of what you think recovery is, go ahead and drop that, because that's what's stressing you out. That's probably a big part. Actually, that probably is a huge part of what's keeping you stressed, is this unrealistic idea that you have of recovery. I don't want you to think recovery is anything more than just going back to not feeling a ton of anxiety and just feeling like a normal person, right? And if you've forgotten what it feels like a normal person, I'm here to tell you that what it feels like to feel, like a normal person is your thoughts don't really trigger you. Things don't unnecessarily trigger you. You're not dealing with a ton of anxiety symptoms. That's all it is, right? And that's great. That is amazing. That should be your goal, right? I don't want you to obsess about it, but that should be your realistic goal of recovery. Anything extra that you're tacking on there, just get rid of that, because chances are you're chasing some unrealistic pipe dream of what recovery is, and that's probably keeping you stressed, trying to get to this state of 24/7 happiness that doesn't exist, right? So some people, there's going to be two types of people. Thank you guys so much for sticking through this rant. This is a very important topic to me. There's going to be two types of people. There's going to be the people who watch this stream and say, well, that's just depressing. I honestly thought I was doing all this work so that I could feel amazing 24/7, and now he's telling me that's not going to happen. Well, you can feel normal, but you're not going to feel amazing 24/7. Nobody does, right? And then there's going to be the other group of people that watch this stream and say, you know what, he's right. I've been trying to be happy 24/7. That's not realistic. I'm going to give myself a break. You know what, today I'm going to go through the motions. I'm going to do things that make me happy. Of course you can do things that make you happy. I'm going to try to be a happier person. Of course you can try to be a happier person. But I'm going to drop all these unrealistic expectations. You know, if I experience emotions today, I experience emotions today. He's right. If I experience excessive amounts of anxiety, well, that's the thing he's telling me to practice. If I experience excessive amounts of anxiety, I'm going to use the advice. I'm going to teach my brain and give it time and practice. And eventually I won't experience excessive amounts of anxiety. I'll just go back to that baseline normal. But you see what I'm saying? There's always two different groups of people. Some people are going to watch this and think, why did he tell me that I can't be perfect? You know, and then there's going to be another group that watch this and they say, wait a minute, he's right. I need to have more realistic expectations, and I need to give myself a break. I am so hard on myself trying to be perfect, trying to be happy 24/7, right? And I hope that most of you fall into that second group where you're like, you know what, he's right. I've got unrealistic expectations. I need to lay off myself. That's the reason I'm so stressed. That's the irony. The reason I'm so stressed is because I have all these unrealistic expectations, right? So I want to wrap this up by saying, can you recover? Absolutely. Can you get to the point where you don't experience excessive amounts of anxiety? Absolutely. Can you get to the point that things stop scaring you so much, including your thoughts? Absolutely. Can you get to the point where you just feel pretty normal, right? And then what you do with that is up to you. Absolutely. But are you ever going to be superhuman? No. Are you ever going to not feel emotions? No. Take a look around you guys. Even people that are not sensitized, take a look around you. Even people that are not sensitized have shitty days. People that are not sensitized feel emotions. People that are not sensitized get depressed. They get angry. They get frustrated. They grieve. They feel, man. They feel. Even people that are not sensitized have fears, right? So I don't know if this stream applies to you or not, but I think we went over some really good points today, and I'm very, very happy with the point of this stream because, you know, I remember thinking back to my journey, and this is the last thing I'll say about it. I remember thinking back to my journey, and I did have I did have some moments here and there where I had really unrealistic expectations, and, you know, if I woke up one day and I wasn't feeling just really happy with my practice, you know, I thought, oh, I'm failing. No, you're still going to be a human being on top of being sensitized. We're going to take care of the sensitized part with the two keys: positive behaviors, live as if you're already healed, and stop fighting with your thoughts and feelings. We're going to take care of the sensitized part. Don't you worry. You'll go back to feeling normal, right? You'll go back to feeling normal. But you are going to be a human being on top of that, man. You got to make room for both. You got to make room for both, right? Okay? You can become happier. You can live a much better life. You can live a great life. You can live an amazing life. I'm not saying that you can't do those things. I'm just saying that you're still a human being. You are still a human being, and you need to give yourself space to be a human being. Yes, you can heal. Yes, you can improve. Yes, you can live a much better life. Yes, you can live an amazing life. Yes, you can do things that make you happy. Yes, you can focus on becoming happier by making better choices and having a better routine and having better habits. You can do all of that stuff. But the fact is, at the end of the day, you right now watching this stream, me giving you this stream, we are human beings. Stop trying to become a god. Because ironically enough, that's what's making you stressed. That could be a big part of what's making you stressed. If you're truly using acceptance, that means accepting being human too. All right? I love you guys so much. I'm really happy with the point of today's stream. If you enjoyed it, make sure you throw a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. It helps the channel grow. Who do we still have with us, man? That went on, oh my God, I ranted for 30 minutes. Okay, well, still a good one. Who do we still have with us? If you are still in the chat, leave a comment. Let me know that you're here so I can welcome you. Thank you for sticking through it with me. It's just some food for thought today, right? It's just some food for thought for you to sit back and say, is he on to something here? Do I have unrealistic expectations? Am I trying to be perfect? Am I trying to fight being a human being? Right? It's just some food for thought. I don't want you to obsess about any topic, but I do want you to maybe come to a realization that you need to back off yourself. You need to back off yourself. You are still going to be a human being after recovery, all right? And during recovery, okay? Let's see. We still got gaming in here. What's up, gaming? We got Ghost in the house. Howdy. How are you doing, Chris? I'm doing great, Ghost. Welcome to the stream, dude. Thank you guys for being here for this morning's stream. I hope you like the new setup. Me and Mop, we got Mop in chat, dude. That's basically my my tech expert. He helped me set this up with the camera and blah, blah, blah. So he kind of ran me through it in comments during our test stream yesterday. Thank you for that, Mop. I'm on the way to the farm, but I'm still unsure. You're going to feel unsure, and that's okay. You're going to have thoughts that make you unsure, and that's okay. You're going to have feelings that reflect being unsure, but your thoughts and feelings are none of your business. Ooh, there you go. Your thoughts and feelings are none of your business. The only business you have is leaving those thoughts and feelings alone and then making the correct choices behaviorally, right? So take the stress off yourself of thinking that it is your business what your mind and body does. It is your business to accept what your mind and body does and then make good choices regardless. Feelings follow action. You're going to do great. Don't worry about it. It might not feel like you're doing great, but the fact that you're doing it is great enough, right? So I'm glad you made the decision that you made to go forward with it, because that's what recovery consists of. That's how you're going to retrain your brain. Congrats. I don't want to be a god, but those who interfere with my life seem to have a god complex. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be a god either, but there are quite a few people that do have a god complex. That's probably a better topic for a different stream, but absolutely, we've all met those types of people. They're not exactly a joy to be around. Didn't get to hear the whole point, but from what I heard, I needed this today. Absolutely. So if you're just now joining us, just a quick recap. We talked about how, yes, you can recover. You can get to a point where you don't deal with excessive amounts of anxiety. You can get to a point where things don't scare you like they are now. You can get to a point where you feel quote-unquote normal. But do not have unrealistic expectations. Do not think you're going to become a superhuman. Do not think you're never going to have emotions again. You're going to experience all these things. That's a part of being human, and a big part of acceptance. We always say it's good life advice, not just good anxiety advice. A big part of acceptance is that you allow yourself to be human too, right? You are a human being at the end of the day, even though you're in the middle of recovery, right? Don't forget that you're a human being. So a big part of acceptance is to accept that too, right? Listening while I drive to work. What is up, Sarah? We got our 2 mods in the house today, Crystal and Sarah. Thank you guys for modding. Ghost, thank you for modding. Since we're going to try to do more morning streams, right, it is very helpful to have mods around this time, so I appreciate you guys agreeing to do that. Thank you very much. Let me see. I missed Mint's comment. My legs feel kind of crampy and my feet are super cold. It's triggering my anxiety. I'm thinking it might be something serious. All that stuff. Those thoughts are probably going to come, Mint, because it's habitual. It's a habit. But whether or not you continue to fuel those thoughts, up to you, right? Up to you. The behaviors you make while you choose not to fuel those thoughts, up to you. That's basically the 2 keys right there, right? The behaviors you decide to make, whether they are positive or negative, up to you. If you continue to fuel those habitual negative thoughts that pop up in your mind, up to you, right? Best to just agree with them, nod your head, and continue to make the correct behavioral choices. You don't think your way to recovery, you live your way to recovery, right? Let's get us some music going, guys, now that we're just hanging out. We've already got some going. I just need to unmute it. Okay, there we go. Let's find a good song here. Okay, there we go. That'll do. Using speech to text, by the way. Hey, no problem, Mint. We can read. We're all capable of reading between the lines, right? Wonder Bro, everything you said is so true. I'm glad you enjoyed it, M. If you guys do enjoy the morning streams, make sure you leave a like. That is a shitty heart. No, that's okay. Make sure you leave a like. I would really appreciate it. I have experienced, I'm going to assume that's what you meant, all this twice years before, gradually increase more in life and less worried about anxiety. It's a slow transition that you don't even notice back to the state of neutral, or what we've been calling normal today, right? But you're right, it is a slow experience. It is a gradual experience. You make the right choices and you stop fueling the fire, and gradually things will start to go your way. Of course, we can't put time frames on that because it's impossible. You just can't do it. Your brain goes at its own pace, right? But I agree with you, Ivan. It is a gradual process. You don't get that instant gratification, but it will add up. Now, don't get me wrong. You can make the choice to not fuel the fire today and feel a little bit better than yesterday. That's possible. But what we mean by gradual transition is that real healing takes a little bit of time, right? I don't know which is the correct choice because I don't know why I'm feeling these things. Health anxiety. Can we get the health anxiety alarm? I don't actually have a health anxiety alarm. We'll find something to make our health anxiety alarm. But you get my point here, Mint. The only reason I'm bringing that up is not to try to throw you under the bus, but rather to make you very self-aware that you've got to remember you are a person who deals with health anxiety. So anything that's going to trigger that health anxiety, you have to remember that that's going to happen. It's the thoughts are going to come. The feelings are going to come. You can't deny it. Don't be in a state of denial. You are a person who experiences triggers based on health-related concerns. So we have to accept that, so that way you can expect that to happen, and then we can work with it, right? We can make better choices, and, of course, face and accept, right? How are you doing, Crystal? Welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome, beautiful people. Hope you're all doing fantastic. Our streak did end. We are on a one-day streak. We've already got started, man. We've already got started. We actually hit our tip goal during the test stream, which I didn't think would happen because it was just a test stream after all. But we did. We somehow hit our tip goal during a test stream. And so we've already got a new start on the new tip goal, man. It is 2023. We are bringing home a new streaming setup for you guys. I hope you enjoy the new setup. It's a lot better than just, for example, looking at this screen, right? Isn't it a lot better? Who wants to just look at this screen? I don't know why I ever thought that was a good idea. I'm sorry. I don't know why I ever thought that was a good idea. Maybe I was being lazy. Maybe I didn't feel like moving my setup and setting it up correctly. I don't know, but I apologize. I don't know why I ever thought that was a good way to stream. So I hope you enjoy the new setup. I hope it looks good. I hope it sounds good. Big shout out to Mop for helping me with all the settings on the mic and stuff. But yeah. Turn a negative into a positive, man. Who cares? Turn a negative into a positive. We didn't hit our streak. Big deal. We made improvements. That kind of sparked me into action. I was like, well, let's make improvements. You know, let's give everybody a better experience. So turn a negative into a positive, right? That's what it's all about. You can capitalize on things and turn a negative into a positive, or you can dwell on things and you can get defeated. That's not the winning mentality, right? That's not the winning mentality. How are you doing today, Ghosty boy? Hope you're doing great. Hope you're having a good morning, man. I'm hungry, dude. It's almost time for breakfast. Is it time for breakfast, chat? The only thing I need to fix is how wobbly my desk is. Look at that. That's horrible. The desk is solid. The desk itself is pretty solid, but the monitor is not very solid. So, and since the webcam is attached to the monitor, that presents a bit of a problem. There you go. But I'll fix that. I'll figure out some way to fix that. Either way, I hope you guys enjoy the new streaming setup. I hope you enjoy the new streaming schedule. If it works, it works. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how, we'll see what people think about it. We'll see if people enjoy it. If not, we might have to change it up, fix it a little bit, try something new, until we find what works the best. So, life is full of trial and error, man. Full of trial and error. Life is full of trial and error. You got to notice your own patterns, right, Minty? You got to notice your own patterns. You know that when anything that is health-related pops up, you're probably going to overthink it and you're going to experience thoughts that are negative. We need to accept those thoughts. We don't have to fuel those thoughts, but you need to expect them. Expect them because you know yourself. Expect them because you know how your brain operates. When you expect it, you have a better chance of accepting it instead of being so taken off guard by it, right? You know what I mean? I'm happy. How are you doing, Chris? Did you get a great night's sleep? Dude, I did get a great night's sleep. I thought I went to bed too early. I was like, damn it, I'm laying down right now at like 6 p.m. and this is going to screw everything up, but I'm just so tired. And then I slept like 10 hours, dude. I woke up at like 4 a.m. I don't know, but I did get a great night's sleep. I should be able to make it through the rest of the day just fine. Just fine, so shouldn't matter. Minnie says that after anxiety, you become a better person, happier, spiritually growth, etc. Only thing that is you appreciate normal life more. In fact, all that anxiety BS leads to nothing. Well, Minnie, that's not entirely untrue. You can, once you come out of this sensitized cycle, you can go on to be a happier person. You know, I didn't say you couldn't be happier. You go on to be a happier person. You go on to grow. I've grown a lot, you know, from my journey. I did a lot of spiritual growth from my journey. So none of that is untrue, okay? If for you personally, you came out of the cycle and you just appreciate your normal life a bit more, and that's all you gained from it, then that's fine. That's fine. But for me personally, and for a lot of people, that is true. You do come out of it and you've got a better perspective on life. You've got a deeper perspective on life. You look at things in a new way. Maybe that didn't happen for you. Maybe it did. It doesn't matter as long as you're healing. Who gives a shit, right? But no, that is true. You can come out of it feeling, a spiritually deeper person. Minty is a badass. Minty has always been a badass. I agree. 10 hours, that is great. Yeah, dude, apparently I needed it. I think I was just so worn out from moving my setup around. It took a lot of work. I'm not complaining because I love it, but you know how it is, Ghost. I don't know why I'm explaining this to you. You got a desk and a computer, and it's like when you've got 2 monitors and lighting equipment and a big-ass PC and a huge-ass desk, and you go to moving all that around, that is some work, man. But it was worth it. I love it. I love every second of it. I'm loving the new setup. It's a lot better than looking at this, right? A lot better than looking at this. You guys deserve quality, man. You guys deserve the best, and I want to bring you the best. I'm going to continue to do my best to bring you the best, right? How do you guys like the new transition? It's so fancy, isn't it? I want to use it again. I want excuses to use it. I set that up this morning. It's so cool. It's so cool. I'm sorry. I'm getting giddy. What's up, the Wolf? Welcome to the stream, dude. Hope you're doing fantastic. Guys, if you are enjoying this morning stream, make sure you leave a big thumbs up. Make sure you leave a big thumbs up. We are on a new schedule here on the channel that I'm going to be tweaking a little bit as we move forward. Try to find the best times, right? So if you guys interact with the morning streams and you like the morning streams, we'll continue doing them. If they're not very popular, if they're not a good time to stream, we'll probably tweak it a little bit and find another time to stream, right? So it's going to be a lot of trial and error. So if you enjoy a particular stream, make sure you leave a thumbs up so I know, man. So I know. Also, I want to do a vote real quick in the chat. I don't know who we still got in here. I think I started this morning stream a little bit too early. I'm probably going to push it later on to about 8, 9, 10 my time instead of 6, 7. But anyway, if you are still in here, I want to do a little bit of a vote as far as thumbnails go. I'm sure you guys are familiar with my current thumbnails, which are just neon signs, which I think fit the aesthetic of the channel quite well. But I thought about maybe doing thumbnails that actually have my face in them. Do you think that would be a good idea? So in the chat, I want you to drop right now, no matter if it's 2 people, 3 people, I don't care. In the chat, I want you to vote neon signs. Should the thumbnails be neon signs like they currently are? Or should it be me? Just write the word me. So neon signs or me. Just vote in the chat. Oh, it is a mechanical thing in the brain, Ivan. I'm definitely not disagreeing with you. It's very mechanical. There's no doubting that. But what I'm saying is a mechanical thing in the brain and the journey that you go through for healing can give you it can change you. It can change you in ways. But if it doesn't, it doesn't, right? But if all you do is heal and you didn't learn nothing, you didn't learn jack shit, then that's okay. But if you healed and it changed you in a positive way, obviously that's great. You? Okay, we got one vote for me. One vote for me on the thumbnails. All right. All right. What I thought about doing was just taking screenshots from the, like a screen cap from the streams here when I'm doing something cool, or I don't know, or look halfway decent. And then editing that in Photoshop with some text over top of it. So let's do our thumbnail. Let's do our thumbnail for today's stream, shall we? We gotta fix the hat. Because I'm seeing a lot of votes for you, me. Okay. Nah, that's too cheesy. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what kind of pose to make. Depends on the face thumbnail if it is appealing or not, but it's certainly a great idea. Oh, I'll definitely, I won't just throw up a picture of me. I'll add text to it and I'll fix it all up and stuff. I won't just throw up a picture of me. Definitely not. I'll make it appealing. I'll make it appealing. All right, guys, give me just a second. We'll be right back, and we're going to finish this stream strong. We got about 10 minutes left. I will be right back. We are back. Hello. I love any excuse I can get to use my transition. It'll get old after a while, don't worry. It'll get old after a while, don't worry. Saw my GP today over health concern. Got to see a specialist next week. It never stops. Real physical symptom, not imaginary. At least they can't say it's in my head. Yeah, if you've got real physical conditions or illnesses or concerns, always go get it checked out, right? Always go take action. You know, take action where you can take action. But, you know, There's obviously a big difference between that and, like health anxiety, for example. So it gets a bit tricky, I know, but go get cleared, man. Go get cleared if you want to go get cleared, right? But we got you, Mop. We're here. We're here to support you, dude. We're here to support you. Especially on the anxiety side of things, right? Especially on the anxiety side of things. Hey, man, if anybody's got any questions, we got about 10 minutes left or so. Feel free to drop those questions. We'll do our best to answer them. Let's finish strong, man. Let's finish strong. Leave a thumbs up if you haven't already. I appreciate it. Helps the channel grow. I love you guys. Love you, love you, love you. Only thing I'm not sure that it leaves some mental scar or wiring in amygdala that prime us to be more prone on future bouts of sensitization. No, your amygdala can be sensitized. It can also be desensitized, right? There's no such thing as permanent scarring. There's no such thing as permanent scarring. So, for example, things that used to trigger me during my bouts of sensitization, I can purposely and consciously think of those things right now by choice, and they would cause no reaction whatsoever. So that's how I know there's no permanent scarring on the amygdala. And if anybody was a prime candidate for this permanent scarring or this thing that you've thought up here, it would be me. I would have been a prime candidate for permanent scarring of the amygdala. If that was a thing, I would be screwed. I would be absolutely screwed where I sit today. Yeah, no, dude, you can heal. You can heal. You're not going to be left with any permanent scars, so to speak. Like I said, I can sit here right now and consciously think of all the things that used to have me in bed, like pissing in bottles, right? And I can sit here and I can chuckle about those things. So that's how I know your amygdala is always willing to learn. Your brain and body are always willing to heal. As far as anxiety is concerned, you can heal. You need to get these ideas out of your head that you're going to be left badly broken or something. Is nah. Myself and many others in the chat are just walking proof that you can get where you want to be. You can absolutely get where you want to be. So you just need to drop all these fairy tales about being left permanently scarred. It's just nah. I hope that gives you a sense of relief, Ivan, so you can carry on with your day. Carry on with your day, man. Don't daydream. Don't negatively daydream about these things, right? It's not worth it. Can you describe why the lows are so low after doing well? Well, it's because you were doing well, right? So you get symptom improvement, and then it takes you off guard whenever these fear pathways decide to bubble up again. That is why ups and downs are very normal. But you were just doing so well, and then you got these fear pathways decide that they're going to pop off today, and that catches you off guard. So I think the biggest reason why the lows can feel so low is because you get taken off guard. You get blindsided. And then it's easy for that that's a breeding ground for frustration. If you don't know how to handle it and reframe it in your mind and look at it in a better way, that is a breeding ground for frustration, which of course just tires your nerves out and tells your body and mind, oh, there's some sort of problem here. Doing so well, it takes you off guard. Instead of expecting it, you get frustrated. Oh, why me? Why did this have to happen? All the whys. And that just gets you even more worked up. And that's why the lows can feel so low. But if you come into them expecting them, wait a minute, I expected this to show back up. I'm still in recovery. I'm going to take advantage of this. I'm going to use it. Anxiety learns while anxiety is turned on. I say that all the time. If you reframe it like that, if you catch the frustration and turn it into a better outlook, a better perspective, you'll be able to handle your lows a lot better. Instead of allowing it to frustrate you and say, oh, why me? Why this? I was doing so well. Why? If you can catch all that crap and turn it into, hey, this is an opportunity. Anxiety learns while anxiety's turned on. There's no sense in going down the rabbit hole of why me? Why this? If you can make that, if you can shift gears in that moment and get it going in a positive direction, you'll be able to handle your lows a lot better. So I hope that answers your question there, Crystal. I hope that helps you out. Good stream today, guys. Good morning stream, man. I'm happy. I think I will make one small change, though. I think our morning streams, I'm going to push them a little bit later than 6, 7 a.m. my time. I feel like that's way too early. A whole lot of people, I don't think that fits into their schedule very well if I do it too early. So I'm going to push the streams probably until about 9, 10 a.m. I think that's a little bit more realistic, so we are going to make that little adjustment. But other than that, I'm really happy with today's morning stream. We will be back this afternoon, if all things go according to plan, to do our afternoon Q&A, right? To do our afternoon Q&A. So we're going to wrap this one up in just a few minutes, guys. We're going to wrap this one up in just a few minutes. The tip goal will not be ending. The tip goal will not be ending. We're on a one-day streak, right? It will not be ending just because we didn't hit our tip goal this morning. That's how it works. If we don't hit our tip goal during the morning, we will try again in the afternoon. And if we don't hit it in the afternoon, then it will be reset to 0. So I'm only throwing that out there because that's a slight change to how we operate, and I want everybody to become used to it. So yeah. It will not be ending unless we don't hit it this afternoon. If we don't hit it this afternoon, it will end. The time I go without meds, they just make masking the symptoms, and amygdala have nothing on to be learned. The fact is, getting better without meds. That is solid evidence of 2 keys. Bit of a language barrier, but I think I did my best. I get what you're saying. No problem. I get what you're saying. Yeah, I can't recommend or not recommend medication. That's a personal choice. I know that if you use the 2 main keys, whether you are on medication or not, you can still learn. Your brain can still learn. So, yeah. Whichever route you decide to go, medication, no medication, use the 2 keys. Use the 2 keys. If that's the decision you make, you need to stick to it, whether you're on medication or not. Doesn't matter. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this one up here. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Just thank you from the bottom of my heart. I hope you guys enjoyed these new stream styles, right? I hope you're enjoying the new setup as much as I am. Thank you for being here, and thank you for supporting. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoy today's morning stream, and I will see you very, very soon. Right there. Stay awesome. I love you. You're amazing.